Imagine waking up in the same bed every morning for 40 or 50 years, and then one day, that bed is half empty. The silence in the house becomes deafening. There are no footsteps in the hallway, no morning greetings, no voice calling your name, no shared cup of tea at the kitchen table. The partner you built your life around is simply gone. It's not just the loss of a person, it's the loss of rhythm, of routine, of identity. For many seniors, this isn't just grief, it feels like their reason for living has disappeared, and the emptiness that follows can be overwhelming. When someone spends decades with a partner raising children, facing hardships, celebrating milestones, their lives become intertwined at every level. So when that bond is suddenly broken, what's left behind is not just sorrow, but confusion, disorientation, and often a sense of purposelessness. It's not uncommon for seniors to describe their homes as just a house now, no longer a place of warmth and companionship, but rather a structure filled with memories and silence. Psychologists describe this phenomenon as complicated grief, or prolonged grief disorder. It goes beyond the natural pain of loss. For some elderly people, the death of a spouse triggers a cascade of emotional, mental, and physical responses that make it incredibly difficult to continue with life as before. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association revealed that widowed individuals over 65 have a significantly higher risk of dying within the first 3 months after their partner's death, particularly from heart-related conditions. This is sometimes called broken heart syndrome, a very real and serious condition where extreme emotional stress can lead to heart failure, symptoms in people who were previously healthy. It's also important to recognize how loneliness intensifies. This experience, many elderly individuals live far from their children or relatives. Friends they once relied on may also be aging, dealing with their own health issues, or have passed away. The result is a deeply isolating experience. A once vibrant home becomes a quiet reminder of everything that has been lost, and every new day can feel like a challenge to endure rather than something to look forward to. Some seniors who lose their partners may begin to withdraw from social activities, family, or even basic self-care. Meals are skipped, medications are forgotten, sleep becomes irregular. The desire to maintain one's health often fades when there's no one around to share life with. Mental health suffers too. Depression, anxiety, and insomnia are all common. Unfortunately, these symptoms are often dismissed by society as normal aging or just sadness, when in reality, they're clear signals of deep emotional pain. Another dimension of this loss is the sudden loss of identity. For decades, someone may have been a husband or a wife, and that title shaped their daily decisions, habits, and self-worth. When that title is taken away, it can leave a person asking, "Who am I now?" This question becomes even more difficult when children are grown, careers have ended, and the social fabric that once defined their lives has thinned. Yet even with all this understanding, there remains a lingering question. Why do some seniors seem to move forward with grace, while others crumble under the weight of their grief? The answer lies in a complex blend of emotional resilience, support systems, personal health, life purpose, and individual coping mechanisms. Some are able to channel their grief into volunteer work, community engagement, or creative expression. Others find solace in spirituality or in the support of grandchildren. But many, especially those without strong family or community ties, struggle silently. This struggle isn't a sign of weakness. It's a reflection of deep love, deep loss, and a life that feels suddenly unrecognizable. For these seniors, grief isn't just an emotional burden, it becomes a daily reality, one that reshapes how they interact with the world and how they view their remaining years. Imagine waking up in the same bed every morning for 40 or 50 years, and then one day, that bed is half empty. The silence in the house becomes unbearable. There's no familiar voice calling out from the other room, no shared laugh over morning coffee, no quiet companionship in the evenings. The person who stood beside you through every joy and every storm is suddenly gone. For many seniors, this moment marks not just the loss of a partner, but the beginning of a slow, painful unraveling of their own life. Some elders simply cannot move on after their spouse passes away. It's not because they are weak or unwilling, it's because something inside them has broken. The life they built wasn't a solo journey. It was shared, every memory, every plan, every little routine. When that bond disappears, what remains is often confusion, loneliness, and a deep ache that doesn't go away. This isn't just grief, it's something far deeper. Medical experts call it prolonged grief disorder or complicated bereavement. It's when the pain of loss becomes so overwhelming that it starts affecting physical health, cognitive function, and the will to live. Research has shown that widowed seniors, especially those over 70, face significantly increased risks of serious health complications shortly after losing a spouse. Studies from the Journal of the American Medical Association and the Harvard School of Public Health reveal that widowed seniors are more likely to develop high blood pressure, heart problems, sleep disorders, and depression. There's even a well-documented phenomenon known as broken heart syndrome, where extreme grief causes real damage to the heart muscle. It's not just a metaphor, it's a medically recognized condition. And for many, it's a quiet path to decline that begins the moment their partner's funeral ends. One of the most dangerous elements in this experience is loneliness. After decades of daily companionship, suddenly living alone can feel unbearable. Time moves differently. Days stretch out with no one to talk to, no hand to hold, no one to share a meal or a memory. The silence itself becomes suffocating. In many Western societies where nuclear families are the norm and adult children often live far away, many seniors are left to grieve in isolation. Friends may visit at first, but over time, the visits slow down. The phone rings less. The doorbell stops ringing altogether, and the world just keeps going, while the grieving elder remains frozen in a house full of memories. Grief affects not just the heart, but the brain. Seniors who lose their life partners often experience confusion, forgetfulness, and a decline in mental clarity. They may lose interest in things they once loved. Some even begin to stop eating properly or forget to take their medications. The smallest tasks, like going grocery shopping or folding laundry, suddenly feel heavy. It's as if life loses its color, and without someone to live for or talk to, the motivation to care for oneself fades away. But even in this dark space, there is hope. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means slowly, gently, rediscovering the self. Support, connection, and compassion are the lifelines, whether it's through a local support group, visits from family, or community programs that pair volunteers with seniors. The human connection is the medicine many grieving elders need most. And if you are someone who has lost a partner, please, remember you are not alone. Your grief is valid, your love mattered, and your life still matters. If you found this message touching, or if you know someone who is living this pain quietly, we gently invite you to subscribe to Seniors Uplife. Our channel is dedicated to honoring the strength, struggles, and wisdom of seniors. We share real stories, trusted health advice, and compassionate conversations that help build a community where no elder has to feel alone, because you still deserve to be heard, to be held, and to be healed.